Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm still in my pajamas, and I'm sorry about my appearance, but I just feel like having a lazy day today. All right. Anyhow, the reason why I'm doing this video is because just recently I've had some issues with my card. My information in my card was stolen. Well, my card wasn't stolen, but the information was stolen. And so I want to tell you a little bit about that and how you can prevent that. So basically what happened was I called up Anthem, or the nurse that was from Anthem, and I called her to cancel or to cancel and reschedule my appointment. Well, when I was on the phone to talk about me canceling it, I got sent to another person. Was talking of, so basically Anthem gives you gift cards. So they were saying that they were going to give me a Walmart gift card, and it would take about a few weeks to get here. So basically, they asked me for my debit card number, which I gave to them, which should have been a red flag for me not to give them my card number. But at a moment of weakness, I was having a very bad day. And I never do this, so it was a very bad day for me when it happened. They were telling me, oh, you'll get the card in however many days, and it was a $4, whatever, it was $4 for something. And so when I hung up the phone, I'm like, I cannot believe I just did that. So now someone out in Dallas has my information. So basically what happened was, what should have red flagged me was, number one, Anthem never asks you for your debit card number. Number two, the information or the questions that they were asking also gave me a red flag. Should have given me a red flag. Number two, they never sent me to a person to actually reschedule the appointment. And three, basically, I think the third thing is that should have tipped me off is that some of the questions and some of the things that they were asking me, Anthem never asks. So yeah, I am not proud to admit that I was scammed, and I'm not proud to admit that, I forked over the information, not even thinking about what was actually happening. I was basically dealing with a lot with my own financial information that I was having issues with, that the person took advantage of my moment of weakness. So, and the reason why I'm sharing this video is because I don't want for this to happen to somebody else. Basically, I don't want, because I do feel ashamed, and I've done videos on debit theft before. I've done videos where, to prevent this from happening so that doesn't happen again. But like I said, moment of weakness, I had, I had it happen, and, it's like people say, you learn from it. And, I should have saw all the red flags. Like, someone could basically, pay for your information. It's hard. Like, I've gone to the bank on numerous occasions to fix what I've done. So, what also made me think that this wasn't Anthem is the fact that, okay, so I looked at my bank account and I saw AT&T take out money from my account. $75.32 for, and then they took out another $20, and then they checked to see if the card's still active, and then they took out another $20. I knew about the first two transactions, but basically the bank couldn't do anything until they took the money, and then once that happened, it would have to be processed and they could refund me. But before the card, we put a block on the card, there was another $20 taken out of the card. But, and I think that was before we put a block on it. So, there are a lot of things you can do to keep it from happening, and there are a lot of things to do. You can do, if it does happen, let's say, it does happen, okay? So you want to prevent it from happening. Don't give out your information unless you're talking to the actual person, but you also know that they do not ask you for your debit card information. So that should have been a thing. But anyway, so, but let's say it does happen, okay? So the first thing you want to do is talk to the actual people, like calling up. So, basically, I'll tell you what I did, okay? So, I called up, so the first thing I did was I called my mother, because I was a little confused about basically because my mother pays my phone card, right? So I called her to see if there was any reason why they would take money out of my phone. But the thing is that, so there's another thing, okay? So I don't pay for my phone, and this is AT&T who is taking money out of my accounts. So I don't pay for my phones. My mother pays for my phone because it's in her, everything's under her name. It's her account. So basically, I don't know how they got well, yes, I do and I don't. But I don't know how they got me. So, I'm sorry, let's start. Let's go back. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm a little jumbled. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Okay, so I gave my information to Anthem, who I thought was Anthem. I gave him my debit card number, not thinking anything of that, right? So the person who took the card information opened up an AT&T account with my card. So, and then AT&T started taking money out of my account. So basically, so then when I called my mother because I thought that, for some reason, I thought that there was some miscommunication with AT&T. They were taking money out of my account, but my mother pays for both mine and her phone. So when she added it up, it added to exactly what the amount was. That's the weird part. Is it actually added up to the amount that my mother pays for the phone. So so when I talked to her, she said, well, I don't understand because I've already paid for the phone this month. And so we are both kind of like dumbfounded that all this was happening, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't an AT&T mistake before I canceled things. And I wanted to make sure it wasn't an AT&T thing, that it was a bank thing, that someone stole my information. So basically, I went to AT&T. My staff and I went to AT&T, and we talked to the lady, and we gave her all the information that she needed. So, and they said we could do a fraud claim, but I didn't want to do that because it would have made things a lot hard for my mother. So I figured it was, excuse me, I'm sorry. I figured it was more of a bank thing than an AT&T thing. So, like I was saying, the first time I went to the bank, they said they couldn't do anything about it because where the numbers were pending, they had to wait for them to take the money out in order to do something about it. And so but once they took the money out, I went back to the bank and we put a block on the person who was taking the money out, or the person who was AT&T. We put a block on them. I got rid of my old card, my old debit card, and I got a new debit card. And what is really hard about doing that is that if you have any online bills like banking, or if you have subscriptions, it's a pain in the butt to have to change all the information that you have to your new card, your new information and all that. So the one thing I say is, don't be like me, don't be dumb and give out your information. But like I said, and there's ways to prevent that, which is don't give your information unless you know that it's the actual person that you're talking to. And if you are not sure, still don't give your information out unless you're absolutely sure that it's the person. But still, they would not ask for your debit card number. That's one thing I do know, which, I still kick myself in the butt about. Don't ever do that. But like I said, so the first thing you want to establish is that your card was hacked. Or let's say, the first thing you want to do is keep track of all your money, and you want to if the one thing, I'm sorry, I'm rambling again. So you want to look at your bank, okay? And if you see something that doesn't look right, it's always good to investigate it, because you don't know if someone has taken your information or not. So step one is to check all of your information. Always go to the source to make sure it's not. If it's a mistake, it can be fixed. But if it's not a mistake, and your information has been taken, it's always good to go to the bank, and the bank will work with you, okay? I mean, like they worked with me. So the woman will say, okay, there's nothing we can do right now, but that doesn't mean you can't do anything at all. So what they want to do is they wait to see if they take the money. Once the money is taken, you'll go back and you get a new card, and they put a block on the person who was taking the information, so that way your information is safe and they won't take any more from you. So the extra $20 that they took out was way before they put a block on it. So, or before I had all my information changed. So that part was still pending. So as soon as that money gets taken out, they're going to refund me my money. So technically the good thing is the bank will refund you the money that you lost. I'm not going to say every time it's going to happen, but it depends on the situation. I don't want to say it's going to be a guarantee, because it may not be a guarantee, but still the bank will work with you and help you out any way that they can. And it's always good to bring backup in case you need help with certain things. But But anyway, so yeah, don't be like me and a moment of weakness and give out your information, okay? But like I said, there are steps you can take, and I went over those. If you guys have any questions, comments, let me know. And I will see you in the next video. I may do another video on this. But anyway, questions, comments, let me know and I'll see you next video. Bye.